All right, today we are talking about APIs. So every programming language has a standard library, which is the baseline plain version of the language. Every language has some built-in functions that we're able to use. We've been using Python, so we can use the print function. We can use all of the typecasting functions. We can use input. All of those are built into the standard library for our programming language. And different languages have different standard libraries. A lot of times, that standard library isn't enough to do everything we want to do. If we want to do something special, we need some added tools on top of those standard ones to help us do those special tasks. And this is where APIs come in. API is short for Application Programming Interface, and they are a set of tools for building programs. So they give us access to other functionality beyond what is in our base standard library for our programming language. From Wikipedia, there's a quote: "A good API makes it easier to develop a program by providing all of the building blocks, which are then put together by the programmer." So APIs let us build new things using building blocks. Documentation is a big and important part of any API. We've talked a little bit about the math module, the math, like bringing things in, importing math. Anything that we import, we are going to have access to documentation for. And documentation is going to show us how to actually use that library or that module. So if I look up Python math library docs, Python math library, I can go to docs.python.org and I will find everything about the math library. I can find all of the functions that are held within it, and I can see what all of the parameters for those functions are going to be. If it has any special like values, any constants held within it, like the math module, the math library has math.py and math.e, math.tau, special values that are useful when I'm doing math. So different libraries will have different constants, different functions built into them, and we can use documentation to understand what each of those things holds. Lots of companies like Facebook, Twitter, Spotify will provide an API so that other programs are able to actually interact with their website or with whatever data they have. And that's why you can log into Facebook on your phone through some other app. You can have it all connect to your Facebook account or connect to your Instagram account or connect to your Google account, because all of those companies provide an API in order to send and receive information so that other stuff can interact with them. So if there's things that we can use to make charts. If I wanted to make some chart with a different library, I can import a library to build charts. I can add Spotify to a website that I'm developing using the Spotify API. So there's all kinds of different APIs that we have access to within our programs that allow us to do a variety of different things. So there's a video on CodeHS with a bit more in-depth information, which is helpful. So you can watch that when you have time, but there's not really any assignments for that unit. So there's that. Stop recording.